The other congratulations that I wanted to give to you is that on Twitter, the guy who threw his shoe at George W. Bush endorsed you.
He's endorsed me. I told him to get another shoe and throw it again. Throw it at Trump.
Well, out of all of your Democratic Party running mates here, who would you throw the shoe at first? Is there anyone?
Well, I'm mad at the mayor from Indiana, Buttigieg, whatever his name is. Now, I got this secondhand. I didn't hear it myself. But apparently he dismissed Obama granting a reprieve on the sentence to Chelsea Manning. And I view Chelsea Manning as a major patriot in our history. And she's in jail today because she has the guts to stand up to the government in their unfair practices. And so if it's correct that he felt that she should be sentenced to 35 years, well, shame on him. Because first off, in Alaska, we had a lot of people that committed murders that never got a 35-year sentence. So to give a person who has got a sense of patriotism to reveal the dishonesty in parts of our government, and to that person to get sentenced for 35 years. And it was commuted by Obama. Thank God, he must have felt a guilty night because, he did more to oppress whistleblowers than any other president in our history. So if Buttigieg said that about Chelsea, I got to tell you, when I'm on the stage, I will ask him about that. And if he's made that statement, he's going to get it from me.
Well, yeah, well deserved. I mean, the persecution of whistleblowers is just as an affront to democracy and journalism.
Whistleblowers are the only thing that keep our democracy alive. Other than that, the level of secrecy, the control by the military-industrial complex and Wall Street, we've lost our democracy and we're not even alert enough to recognize it. And so when you see whistleblowers, whether it's Chelsea, WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, Snowden, these are all heroes in my patriots to the extreme. They should all be getting medals.
And you have a little bit of activist history around whistleblowing in that you read aloud a good chunk of the Pentagon Papers into the public record and published them at a time when it looked like it may or may not be published. Could you talk a little bit about that experience and what motivated you to do that?
Well, first off, when I was a young man in my military service, I was in the intelligence community. So I was in Europe, fortunately, during the Korean War as an adjutant for the Communications Intelligence Service. And at 23, 24 years old, I could classify and declassify. So I advanced that now to I'm in the Senate, and I'm 41 years old, 42 years old. And the Pentagon Papers were sent over to the Senate by Nixon. They're put in a room under armed guard, and a senator could go in and read them, but couldn't take any notes and couldn't have any staff. So that ridiculous situation compared to what I could do when I was in my 20s, really when Ellsberg called me to see if I would read the Pentagon Papers as part of my filibuster against the draft, I immediately said yes. I didn't have to think about it because I just thought it was ridiculous. But first off, the level of secrecy in our society is far, far in excess of what's needed to protect our interests. But every time you hear a government official or a politician say, well, that's secret, I can't talk about it. Why the hell can't you talk about it? The enemy knows about it. This is a little bit like the secrecy of the bombing by Nixon of Cambodia and Laos. The people in those countries could look up in the sky and see the bombs dropping on them. But of course, the American people couldn't know that they were being bombed because that was held secret. And so this whole concept of secrecy has been excessive. And with respect to the Pentagon Papers, all it is a history commissioned by McNamara, and he was curious intellectually as to how we got into Vietnam. And so after he read the report that was written, he classified it. That was the end of the story. The view I take is